Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a little decorate with me and cook with me. So I am craving fall. I have had enough of this hot, yucky summer. Autumn and fall are my favorite time of year. And if you ask me what my favorite color is, the answer will always be October. I am so grateful that I live in New England where I can see these amazing, beautiful colors that are about to come as the season continues to change here. So for now, I'm going to bring a little bit into my house. Now, I don't like to go overboard. I do not want an overkill of autumn from one end of my house to the other. I'm just going to add little touches to certain rooms, to certain spots here and there. And today, we're just going to add a little bit into our dining room and into my kitchen. And when I say a little, I do mean a little. It's not a whole lot, but boy, is it going to have a major, beautiful impact. Part of that is going to be a new table centerpiece that we are going to make. Y'all know that I love my antique toolbox with all those beautiful flowers in it, but it screams summer. And I thought about taking those flower picks out and finding something more appropriate for fall, but I really don't want to do that. I want something entirely different. So thanks to a recent trip to Target and a big old clearance section that I found in Hearth and Home, it inspired me to create this gorgeous table centerpiece, very cheap, but it's going to be beautiful. I am super excited for that. Also, you can't do any fall decorating without having something fallish for dinner. So tonight I am going to make this amazing, so good, braised beef ribs in a red wine sauce. We are going to have some delicious creamy buttery Parmesan potatoes, and I'm going to do a little asparagus on the grill with a little lemon in balsamic. It is so good. I am so excited for this dinner. So for now, let's get our dinner going because that's going to take a few hours in the oven. I just want to prep everything up, and when that's done, we can start on the fun DIY projects and the little bit of decorating I want to add to my dining room and my kitchen. All right, to start, we're going to use 2 carrots, and I have peeled them. Now I'm going to slice them up, and I like to use the rainbow carrots just to give the dish, make it a little extra pretty, if you will. I'm going to also slice up my 2 stalks of celery. I've cleaned those. I cut the ends off. I've saved those in my stock bag in the freezer. If you've seen my channel before, you know what that means. I'm going to crush up these 2 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to dice up a half of an onion. And this dinner is underway. Generally, when I buy my short ribs, I like to get the bone-in beef short ribs, but they didn't have that, so boneless it is. It doesn't really make a difference. It'll be just as delicious. So I patted down each piece of meat using a paper towel. You do that to dry the meat off. That way it really gets that great brown crust on it when you throw it in the pan with the hot oil. And I added a generous amount of my Redmond's real salt and some pepper. And now we are going to put these in my cast iron Dutch oven, which has a little bit of avocado oil in there, heating up. I don't want to crowd the meat. If you put too much meat in the pan at once, it will not fry and give you that beautiful crust on the outside. What it will do is will steam and create a lot of moisture in there, and that's not what we want. So we are going to do probably 4 pieces and then 2 pieces, but we are going to brown it on all sides. Also, when I'm putting meat on a cutting board, I kind of like to try to keep it on my BPA-free, plastic cutting boards and not on the wood because it just goes in there and it just gets yucky. And I like to keep my wood ones for my vegetables and fruits and whatnot and use these for my meat. That's my personal preference. I find it to be much cleaner that way. we're not cooking these. We are just getting some color on all sides, and then we're going to transfer it all over to a plate and continue on with the recipe. Now that the meat's done, I'm just going to add the onion, and I'm going to let this cook for about 8 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to add in our carrots and our celery. Don't worry about all those bits on the bottom. That is all flavor, and we will be getting it. Just added the carrots and the celery, and I put a little bit more of the avocado oil in there. I thought my pan was dry. Not too much, maybe like a half of a teaspoon. I don't want to make it too oily for my dish. So I'm actually going to let that cook and soften for, again, about 8 to 10 minutes. I did not add the garlic yet. You never want to put the garlic in too soon. It'll burn. So we're just going to let this go until it is ready. I added 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and my garlic, but look at how pretty these colors are. They're fall looking, which makes me incredibly happy, especially for today since we're making a nice fall centerpiece. This is perfectly appropriate. So we're just going to let this go for just a couple of minutes. It's beautiful. Look at those colors. I love it. So pretty. Now, because we are doing a beef, I want to use a red wine, and I'm going to make a red wine sauce, obviously. So I just grabbed a Cabernet Sauvignon. I did a Napa version of it. I like Napa's wine. We're just going to add this right into our pot. Now, be careful when you do this. It is going to splatter. You want to do it nice and slow. There we go. Gorgeous. And while this is also reducing over here, I am using my spoon and scraping the bottom and the sides to get all of that delicious flavor off of the bottom of the pan. And it comes off very nicely. This is called deglazing. And you just want to make sure you get it all, because there is a lot of flavor in what was stuck to the bottom of the pan. All right, this is reduced by half. Now I have 3 cups of beef broth. I did not have any homemade, so the next best thing is better than bouillon. And we are literally just going to add this into the pan and give it a good stir. That's all incorporated. So now we are literally just going to take our braised beef and we're going to put it back in there. If there are any juices left over on the plate, you want to dump that back in as well. Do not throw those away. Again, that's more flavor. Put that right in there. I'm going to drop in 2 bay leaves. We're going to drop in a sprig of oregano from my garden and some sprigs of thyme from my garden. All right, we are just going to put the lid on the Dutch oven, and I've had my oven preheating at 350. So this entire thing is going to go right in there, and it's going to cook for 2.5 to 3 hours. Now, what sparked the inspiration for my table centerpiece was something I found in Target on a clearance end cap, and what a bargain it was. Check this out. They had these absolutely gorgeous baskets on an end cap on clearance, and they are from the Hearth and Hand collection, which, as we all know, is Magnolia, Joanna Gaines. We love her. And originally, these are like $30, but they're on clearance for $8.99. So I bought 2. Who wouldn't? Now, another thing, they do have a hanger on the back, so they are made where you could actually put them on your wall if you wanted to, which would even be an option. But for me, this is going to become a gorgeous fall centerpiece. I also went into their dollar section and I found these really pretty picks that have like a very muted clay color and different shades of green. And I thought those were very fall and would look beautiful against that basket. And then they also had these gorgeous picks of fall leaves. Now, how gorgeous is that? So my idea was to lay the leaves in and lay this in and find something fabulous for the center, which I actually did. And it is this adorable little light. And it lights up with a tea light in there. But because we have small children in this house, I'm not going to have this going on my table with a real flame in it. I bought flameless, flickering tea light candles, and I think that's just the perfect option for having the kids and the animals. I also ended up picking up some pumpkins that I thought were super pretty. Got some of these pumpkins from the dollar section of Target. I love that section. Got some beautiful silver and gold pumpkin candles that I actually picked up in Home Good, and boy, I definitely can do something with that. There are my flickering candles, and even this magnificent tray right here, this came from the dollar section of Target. I believe it was $5. Yes, it was. But I know I can totally do something fabulous with that. So that's going to be a project somehow. Michael's is having this amazing sale right now where half of the stuff they're calling summer is stuff I would use any time of the year. But also their fall stuff is on sale. So I ended up picking up 5 of these little mini wreaths, which a lot of people put around candles. But what I like to do is I like to use them on my chandelier. Now, I love the simplicity of my chandelier, but sometimes it also annoys me that it's so simple. But then I remember it's an absolute blank canvas, and I can literally just take my wreaths and go over each and every one and add different pops of color for fall or for Christmas, and that's going to be exciting. I also picked up just a couple little picks. They were 40% off. Definitely can put those somewhere. Got some gorgeous grass with this beautiful, beautiful marigold yellow color on it, which really just screams fall. And I ended up picking up a new fall garland. I like to put these over the lights on my island, and I do like to change that up for the seasons. I also grabbed some random picks of flowers because literally all of this ended up being like 80 cents for each one. This is what they consider clearance. I grabbed a little bag of fall leaves. These are all separate. I'm going to use those as well. A real pretty vine of greenery. I mean, for $1, how do you not buy it? Another pick of greenery. I did end up getting a new wreath hanger because I need one for my other door. So that's what we did here. We just grabbed that, and I could not resist. This was on clearance. They consider this to be summer or something. I'm not sure, but it was $10 and I love it. I just have to find the perfect spot for it. So that's a whole nother story, but let's put this together. Let's make something out of this mess, shall we? The first part of this project entails cleaning this entire table off so I can see to start my project. So let's do that. First things first, I'm going to use my favorite wood polish. I'm going to clean the whole table. So my table is starting with a completely clean slate. I took off my table square, which I absolutely love, but I want to change it up a bit. So I found these set of 8 cotton napkins at Home Goods. It was $15 for 8 of them, and I thought that was absolutely fabulous. And I love it because it has like gold detail to it. It has a little shimmer to it, and it's not white. I did not want white. I wanted it to be a type of a very neutral, soft color. So that's what we have. And my thought is I'm going to use either 2 or 3 on the table. If I do it in 2s, then I have 6 left as accent napkins for all of my chairs. If I do it in 3, I don't. So let's see how it looks. I especially like it because it really leaves this gorgeous table more visible. And I love seeing it. I'm so in love with how this table came out. But that's 2. Let me show you 3. I like the 3 too, so now I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Here is the 3 of them. And it still does leave quite a bit of my table visible. So, all right, I'm gonna use the 3 of them. But right now, really quickly, I'm actually going to iron them so that they're nice and flat. And what I wanna do is I also wanna connect these corners so that it stays as one and doesn't, you know, end up like that and whatnot. And there are several ways you can do this. You can do it with a needle and thread and hand stitch the 2 corners together. Very simple. You don't need to be an expert sewer in any capacity for that. Or you could even just use pins. If you don't have either of those, put a piece of tape on the back. Use whatever you have. I am going to use some pins after I iron these and connect them together that way. As you can see, it's nothing fancy, just good coverage on each corner. Just run your finger over that again, and it's ready to be flipped over. All right, let's do this. Flip the center and our ends. And basically you're gonna start by using your center to find the center. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna start by taking some of our beautiful leaves that we picked out. Start with 2 of them. And I'm actually going to snip some of the end off. I don't need that much. Take that piece out. And do the same thing over here. And there we go. Now we are going to lay one there and lay one there. Definitely bringing that up a bit. Another one. Again, let's cut some extra off. Let's leave that one in there. Let's do one more. There we go. Kind of fan it out a little bit. I want to add some of this gorgeous fall colored eucalyptus. It does come in bunches of 3, so right now I'm actually going to leave them bunched up. I'm going to kind of slide this underneath my leaves. I'm hiding the stem. Just gonna let that just kind of fan out like that. Take another piece. Go in from that end. Move those around, get them whatever way you like. This is gorgeous. This is so cute. I put this little house right there in the middle, and I want to balance it. And to that, I'm also going to add this flickering little tea light because I don't want the real flame. I got these really cute, sparkly gourds, if you will, very lightweight. And I'm just gonna add a few to this. And there you have it. How super pretty is that? And literally everything on here, because of the sales, not counting this was $20, but all of this together, without that in there, isn't even $20. And nothing's committed. I can use this in a different area next year if I wanted, but how gorgeous is that? And look at this sweet, sweet little cottage. I can't wait to see this lit up tonight with a little flickering light in there. I just love the colors. I love fall. How gorgeous is that? I love it, and I love it on the runners on the table. I love seeing more of my table there. I think the whole thing just honestly looks amazing. So we have our table done, and I really am in love with it. I know I say that for everything, but I am. I mean, that looks great. The only other thing that I want to do to this room is on my very plain chandelier. I buy the small wreaths, and I like to set them over it, and it brings your eye up to that as well, adding some seriously amazing color. So we are just going to go around and get these on, and they sit so nicely on these little cups that are on the end of each chandelier arm, and that's it. These were also on sale. They were originally $5.99, and it was 40% off of that. So that also made this a very affordable technique to do. And I love doing this to my chandelier, especially for Christmas and fall. Christmas, I use the nice green wreaths. Now I have these beautiful wreaths, which we will use year after year on this as well. Get this last one on. So now in this room, you can see that not only is your eye drawn to the color on the table there, but it also is drawn upwards. And I think it actually looks fabulous in this room. That looks so good. I love the napkin table runner that we made. I think it's perfect. I literally couldn't have planned this any better if I tried. Now, there's kind of really only a couple spots in my kitchen that I would want to add any touches of fall. And one is on top of my chandelier that's over my island. I keep blue flowers on it regularly throughout the summer and springtime, but I thought that this garland would be gorgeous on there. It has little berries and the yellows and oranges and reds, all of those gorgeous colors of fall that I love. And then over here, just in my little egg basket, I think I just might tuck one or two of these leaves in there just to bring a little color down there. Again, I'm not trying to go overboard with anything. I just want some subtle touches of it in my house. I don't go overboard for holidays unless it's Christmas. That's a whole nother ball game, and that's just the way it goes. So let's give this chandelier a good dusting, and we will take this down and get our beautiful new autumn one up. I have my delicious candle going, which is warm cider and cinnamon, and oh my goodness, my house just smells so good. And don't forget, dinner's in the oven. That smells amazing. We're still about an hour and a half out from eating it, but that's fine. I've got a few things to do. Let's change this light over after we clean it. Gotta always dust it. I love using these little leaves because you can add just a touch without it being too much to anything. Some very pretty leaves. There we go. Since I have enough to do it, let's actually move these out and let's put just a few of these gorgeous, just like that. And then I can put my gnome back over here and my pumpkin. But because I have them, I'm just gonna add this cute little grouping of pumpkins right there as well. So cute. For our creamy mashed potatoes, I just cut up some russet potatoes and I have them boiling. When they're done and they're ready, I will actually drain them. I will be adding some heavy cream and some of my delicious sea salt homemade butter right into there, whipping them up as smooth as I can get them without overworking them too much, because if you overwork your potatoes, they will turn into glue. So keep it to a minimum, just as little as you have to do. And then once it's ready, I will add some freshly grated Parmesan cheese into that, and they will just be so creamy and buttery and oh, so flavorful. I love these potatoes. All right, our potatoes are cooked and drained. So now I am going to add quite a bit of this delicious homemade sea salt butter. I love making my own butter. I've done it for years. It's so easy. If you haven't tried it yet, give it a try. And this is just so delicious. So I like a lot of butter in mine. And now we're going to also add just a little bit of heavy cream, just a little to start. Now, the other ingredient that I like to add is what is called butcher salt. This actually comes from France, and it's just a really nice, coarse sea salt that has like thyme and marjoram, rosemary, a few different herbs. As you can see, it's pretty big, but I just like to take a little pinch, get it right in there. Use it sparingly. It is a very large grain. And then to that, we're just going to start mashing these up. There we go. Some Parmesan in there. A little more. Maybe even a little more. I love Parmesan. You could also add a little bit of garlic to this and make a delicious creamy garlic Parmesan. but this is good enough for me since we're having that incredible braised short rib, which is going to be so full of flavor from the red wine. All right, for our asparagus, we have taken the ends off. I'm just going to take a little avocado oil, sprinkle that on there, give that a little toss. You want to lay these back down into one layer so they can cook. Doesn't take that long for this to happen, so yeah, it's not, they won't be in the oven long, but I still like to do the one layer. And then to this, I like to add a little bit more of that coarse butcher salt. Sprinkle it right on there. Yeah. Now, let's see. The short ribs are done. Oh my goodness, that just looks amazing. It smells phenomenal. So the meat is so tender, like you don't need a knife whatsoever. And you know me, gotta try it. It's gonna be good. Oh, that is so good. So while I'm waiting for my asparagus to be done, I'm actually going to make a small salad using cherry tomatoes and some fresh feta cheese that I have, because I have a super abundance of tomatoes right now and I don't want them to go to waste. So I'm just gonna make us a nice little light salad with a little light dressing on the side. Oh, how good do those look? Fresh from my garden. Oh, these are gonna be good. I love a fresh tomato salad. Just gonna add a little bit of the Olive Garden Italian to this. Not much, because the tomatoes are the star of the salad. And in honor of our little bit of fall decorating we've done and this delicious meal, we're gonna bring out our fall plates, which I just absolutely love. I think these are the most adorable plates ever. They came from Home Goods a few years ago. It's by Spot and Chloe, and I love them. I'm so hungry. That's good. Wonder if the hubs likes it. What do you think, babe? Isn't that tender?
It's awesome. Wait a minute.
So good.
It just falls right apart.
It's hard to get a bite. It falls apart so easy.
Yummy.
Don't mind him. He's messy. We've been working on some vehicles. It's what we do. Well, this is it. Our delicious autumn dinner with a little bit of summer left over thrown in there. Bon appetit. Well, guys, dinner was absolutely delicious. The hubster is still devouring his little bit, and he absolutely loved the little touches of fall that I added to the dining room and to the kitchen. Again, it's just nice, subtle touches. I do not want it to look like from one end to the other, Mother Nature came rolling through and just dropped fall everywhere she went. That's not how I do it until it's Christmas time. So I like these little touches for now. So if this was your first time here, I hope you enjoyed our time together. Here on my channel, I share a lot of homemaking and decorating, as well as a lot of DIY and recipes. And my new obsession is food preservation, which translates basically to canning. So if that's something you're excited for, definitely stay tuned for more of that. I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and join my channel. so that way we can share a lot more with each other. And if you enjoyed what you saw today, please hit that thumbs up button. It just helps to keep my channel relevant and for others to find my content as well. As always, thanks for stopping by my homestead, and I will see you all next week. Don't forget, we're still going room by room with the entire whole house makeover, and we're on to the next room already. You definitely don't want to miss that.